How much it costs to attend dental school is honestly insane. It shocked me when I went through dental school, and it shocks a lot of people once they get accepted and look at just how much it costs. So in this video, what I'm going to do is talk about some of the most expensive dental schools in the US, and also talk about some things that you can do to reduce the cost of attending dental school. And lastly, I'll finish off with whether I think attending dental school is worth the cost or not. So stick around till the end for that. Let's start with the 10th most expensive dental school, and that's gonna be University of Pennsylvania's dental school, also known as UPenn. The cost of attendance for 4 years, including things like rent and your living expenses and tuition, comes out to just about $451,000. And for the sake of this video, when I talk about the cost of attending, that includes tuition, room and board, so your living expenses. It also includes things like your estimated expense for insurance, as well as things like your dental equipment and costs related to that, and transportation. So you can think of it as like the all-in package for what it costs to attend over 4 years. So while UPenn gets the number 10 seat, the number 9 seat goes to MUSC, the Medical University of South Carolina, coming in at $463,000. Just to be very clear though, that cost is gonna be for if you're an out-of-state student and you do not get in-state tuition. So if you're a resident of South Carolina, you actually get to attend at a cheaper tuition rate, and that makes it come out to $330,000. So there's about a $133,000 difference between whether you're an out-of-state candidate and an in-state candidate, which is obviously a huge difference. Moving on, the number 8 seat goes to Midwestern University in Illinois. This is a private school in Downers Grove, Illinois. So whether you're an in-state applicant or an out-of-state applicant does not make a difference. You're gonna be shelling out about $466,000 to attend Midwestern Illinois over the course of the 4 years. The number 7 position goes to Roseman. At Roseman, you're gonna shell out $467,000 to attend for 4 years, and that's a private school. So whether you live in Utah or you're an out-of-state resident, that cost is not gonna change really. The good news about Roseman though is that it's a 3-year program. So instead of the typical 4 years of attending, you're only gonna attend for 3 years, and that means you get out after 3 years and you're practicing dentistry. So you're making that dentist income 1 year earlier, which is pretty nice. At number 6, we have the Ohio State University's dental school. This is another dental school that is a public in-state school. So if you're an out-of-state resident, you're gonna be paying $485,000 to attend. However, you're gonna be paying about $200,000 less if you're an in-state Ohio resident, because for in-state residents, you're gonna be paying $283,000 for your 4 years, which is honestly a pretty fair price to pay. It is a little bit on the cheaper side for dental school. So if you're an in-state Ohio resident, definitely a good place to go. And the number 5 position is kind of similar. Number 5 goes to University of Washington's dental school. And as an out-of-state resident, you're gonna be paying $485,000 to attend for the course of the 4 years. And given that it's a public school, if you're a Washington resident, you're gonna be paying close to $130,000 less in tuition, making the total for in-state residents come out to $358,000 for your 4 years. I like that difference if you're an in-state candidate. The number 4 seat goes to another public school. It goes to UNLV, University of Nevada at Las Vegas. You're going to be paying $490,000 if you're an out-of-state candidate, and for in-state candidates, you're going to be paying $350,000, a cool $140,000 difference. Save that money and go buy yourself a Ferrari. Number 3, we have University of Illinois at Chicago's dental school. Another public school, but for out-of-state residents, it is crazy high, which is why it gets our number 3 spot. And for out-of-state residents, you're gonna be paying $508,000 for your dental school over the course of 4 years. And for an in-state candidate, you'll be paying a much cooler $365,000. So $143,000 difference here. And we have now broken the $500,000 mark for how much you're gonna be paying to attend dental school for 4 years. Our number 2 position totally breaks the $500,000 mark, and we have University of Southern California, Herman Ostrow School of Dentistry, which comes out to $543,000 for your 4 years. This is a private school, so whether you're a California resident or a resident of any other state, the price remains the same. You are gonna be paying that $543,000. And before we go to what school broke the record and got the number 1 spot for the most expensive dental school, if you're enjoying this video, give it a like and subscribe for more helpful pre-dental videos. So the number 1 spot goes to NYU, New York University's College of Dental Medicine, and their tuition comes out to $564,000 for the cost of attendance over 4 years. Whether you're a New York resident or not, the price remains the same since NYU is a private school. And honestly, I'll give NYU a little bit of a margin of safety here, just because living in Manhattan, where NYU is obviously extremely expensive. So a big portion of that is going to how much you're paying just to live in New York City. Regardless, that is an extremely high number to be paying to be attending dental school over 4 years. And regardless of which school you attend, do I think that dental school is worth it? Whether you are paying the cost of NYU or a much cheaper school. So having gone through dental school, this is how I like to think about the cost of attending and the investment you're making, because it really is an investment. You're essentially paying a school $150,000 for the next 4 years, and then the school is essentially giving you a skill that's gonna be paying you $200,000 to $400,000 for the next 30 or maybe even more years of your life, assuming that you're working as a dentist or a specialist for the next 30 years. So I would say that that's an investment well worth it, considering you're getting a bigger payment out and for many, many, many years to come. And in this case, you're also investing in yourself. So some of the most successful people in the world have touted that the best investment is an investment not into stocks or real estate or bonds or anything else, but an investment into yourself to grow your skills, to grow your knowledge, and to be empowered with this skill that can make you a lot more money in the future. And that's definitely something that I found to be well worth it. Anytime you invest into yourself, into a new skill, into more knowledge, it's usually gonna be an investment that pays out way more than you put into it. And now let's dive into ways that you can reduce the cost of attending dental school. The first thing that comes to mind are scholarships that you can apply to. So these are gonna be things like scholarships you apply to with the armed forces, like the very popular Health Profession Scholarship Program, HPSP, where you pretty much dedicate a year of service into the armed forces for the government to pay for 1 year of your dental school. You also get a stipend and a sign-up bonus, so this can be really attractive, especially considering if you dedicate 4 years of service to the armed forces, you're not only doing a great deed in serving our country, but you also get 4 years of tuition cleared, and the government will be paying for your dental school for that time. There are some other programs like the HPSP program, but with the government and for things like public service. The other type of scholarship is gonna be a scholarship that the dental school provides you with and offers you at the time of your acceptance or shortly after to really entice you to want to ultimately accept their offer and attend their school. And these types of scholarships can range from anywhere from $5,000 to over $120,000, and really even go into the full ride scholarship range. And that's what I've seen with the students who we helped advise. Because a lot of the times these scholarships are given from the school to you as an applicant based on how much the school wants you. So if you have a really great application and you interview well, and the school's like, yeah, we really want you to come to our school, they can offer you those scholarships. And my students have received those kinds of scholarships anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000, $20,000, $40,000, $120,000, all the way up to a full ride. So it really pays to come off as a great applicant and nail your application, your personal statement, nail your interviews, so that that dental school really wants you and ultimately entices you with a big scholarship, which is something that my team and I help with when we help students and pre-dentals throughout the application and interview process and maybe something we can help you out with too. The other way to save a ton of money, and oftentimes 6 figures in terms of saving money on your tuition, is gonna be to go to an in-state and public school. And more specifically, the in-state public school where you currently reside. And that's because the cost for the average public dental school in the US is about $270,000. If you compare that to the average cost of private dental schools, which is around $420,000, there's about $150,000 difference in terms of the tuition that you're gonna be paying. So obviously, it'll save you about $150,000 if you end up attending your in-state public school. And that is definitely what I would recommend and what I did by going to UCLA. The only caveat here is the public in-state dental schools are oftentimes much more competitive because a ton of pre-dentals are fighting to get that $150,000 in terms of the tuition cut by going to a public school. So you especially need a really competitive application to be really in the running to get an interview and get accepted into one of these in-state public schools. And one of the things that you can do to help with that is have a personal statement, really an entire application that really stands out and makes a compelling case for why the admissions committee should choose you instead of other pre-dentals. One of the things that you can do is download my free personal statement guide that's gonna help you make that move and help you put together a personal statement that really stands out. The other way that we can help you is through our one-on-one advising services, where we work with you to really make sure your application stands out. But in the meantime, I definitely recommend downloading that free personal statement guide because it's free and it's something I put together to help you on your journey and path to getting accepted to dental school. So download that free personal statement guide. Feel free to schedule a consult with me if you'd like to talk about how I can help elevate your application. Do everything in your power to get accepted to an in-state school or a public school. You're gonna be happy that you did it, and I would put all my chips into that basket. And if you're interested in more pre-dental videos, give this a like, subscribe, and check out this next video, which can help with your journey towards getting accepted to dental school.